So my biggest hope as a Total War content creator is that one day there'll be a reveal that won't leak early. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan, as you can imagine. Yes, it's time to talk about Total War Pharaoh. This is the newest historical game for the Total War series. It's been a while, hasn't it? But yeah, we're heading to the Bronze Age to do some damage, and there's a lot to talk about in their blog. Creative Assembly have provided this a little bit early, obviously, so I can make a video. So let's just jump into the blog and we'll talk about the trailer a little bit later, don't you worry. So yeah, let's begin. We're already starting off strong here with an introduction to the game. The Pharaoh is dead and the people of Egypt, Canaan and the Hittite Empire cry out for a new leader. Many desire the power of the throne, but the path to becoming Pharaoh is a perilous one. As the leader of these great nations, you must overcome societal collapse, face natural disasters, and fight to protect your people against the invaders from far-off lands. Today, we are thrilled to reveal Total War Pharaoh. The next installment in the award-winning strategy franchise will release in October 2023. Okay, so it's this year. That should be quite exciting. It's not that far off, considering that at the time of recording this video, it's near the end of May. Anyways, let's continue. Total War Pharaoh will immerse players in the turbulent events of the Egyptian New Kingdom period, where they'll determine the fate of three great cultures as they fight for survival amid the cataclysmic Bronze Age collapse. We've got lots to tell you about the game over the next few months. Be sure to keep an eye on pharaoh.totalwar.com, that's a pretty long website, for all the latest news. Below you'll find answers to all the big questions on our Pharaoh FAQ. Yeah, you probably won't need to go on that website because, let's be honest, I do a lot of videos covering the news. So yeah, anyways, so far so good. I like the idea that a game is finally coming out. The trailer is big hype and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, let's carry on. Alright, let's continue. What is Total War Pharaoh? Okay, so yeah, just saying the same thing. There's not much to discuss here. It's just basically repeating the same stuff over and over. Just the fact that it's turn-based and all that type of stuff. The usual Total War stuff. When will it release? Okay, again, that's the same. I'm not too sure why they've had a FAQ just repeating stuff, but now we've got some actual new stuff. What are the playable factions that will be available at launch? The base game contains 8 playable factions from 3 diverse cultures. Egyptians, obviously we've got Ramses, Seti, all the others. The Canaanites too, there's 2 there, so there's 4 Egyptians, 2 Canaanites, and 2 from the Hittite, so that's not too bad. Okay, so that basically means 3 different cultures to play with. I'm assuming they're all going to have different types of gameplay styles, different mechanics and so on, or at least one can hope. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see until Creative Assembly start doing gameplay reveals, but I imagine it won't be too long. I'm not too sure how long it takes normally from game announced to actually gameplay showcases. Alright, here's the important stuff. Where can I play Total War Pharaoh and how much does it cost? Total War Pharaoh will be released for PC on Steam and Epic Games Store. 3 versions, okay, will be available at launch. The base game, which is £49.99. Keep in mind that euros and dollars are also on screen right now. Deluxe edition for £61.17. And the Dynasty Edition for £77.96. Right, so we have to consider the fact that everything seems to be discounted right now. But it's still very odd, because obviously that would mean that in a press release like this, the price would have to stay like this, right? But we do get a little bit of context regarding why there's a Deluxe and Dynasty Edition. What is included in the Deluxe and Dynasty Editions? In addition to the base game, there are 2 digital bundles for Total War Pharaoh, available for pre-order on Steam and the Epic Games Store. The Deluxe Edition contains Total War Pharaoh base game, DLC Faction Pack 1, and digital soundtrack. The Dynasty Edition contains Total War Pharaoh base game, DLC Faction Pack 1, DLC Faction Pack 2, DLC Faction Pack 3, DLC Campaign Pack, and digital soundtrack. So I'm imagining that these are going to be DLCs, because yeah, it does state here, the DLC packs will be released as part of the post-launch content roadmap. Details of the roadmap will be provided at a later date. Okay, we've done this song and dance before. It's gonna be like a year. Anyways, I'm a little bit concerned about this, if I can be honest. You're asking people to invest in future DLC when we haven't really seen anything about the game just yet. This is very important to say, don't pre-order just yet. Obviously, wait until you see actual gameplay, not just battles, but campaign too, to see if this is going to be right for you. like, we know that there's discounts involved. Like, the deluxe edition has a 10% discount and the Dynasty edition has a 25% discount. So I'm imagining that these DLCs are going to be fairly expensive. I don't know how it's going to work in terms of this. It's kind of like a buy-in early, which I guess works. I think that if they're going to do a lot of DLCs, they should have just done a season pass. I'm not trying to sound negative here. I'm just obviously a little bit apprehensive because you're asking people to invest quite a decent bit of money. £77, well, almost £78 is no short amount of cash given the current climate of the world. Obviously, we know that game studios are working on DLC in advance. They likely have a smaller team working on the next DLCs because there is a clear indication that there's going to be a decent amount of DLC here. But, yeah, if they want to curry favor with everyone, I think that the roadmap needs to come out before launch, because that way you can actually see if this stuff does interest you enough to actually buy this expensive pack. I guess there is one thing to say in the positive light, that there is a decent amount of DLC that will come out, at least there's plans, and I imagine that they're going to have to stick to at least those, because if not, and they decide to axe it like Free Kingdoms, there's gonna be trouble. There's literally going to be refund lawsuits, I imagine. Now, this is a Total War game, so every Total War game has a pre-order incentive, and I'm not too sure I'm too keen on this one. What do I get if I pre-order the game? If you pre-order Total War Pharaoh now, you'll be able to take part in an exclusive early access weekend before the game is released. That's fine. I kind of like the idea of that because, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Loads of game developers are doing that now. The main thing is, I really doubt you'll be keeping progress unless, like, the early access is, like, before the actual release, like, literally the weekend before. Because if they patch something, sometimes that can break stuff, you know how it works. But here's the issue. You will also receive the Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack and the Heart of Shah Dana cosmetic pack for the full game. Anyways, let's talk about the early access weekend. So the early access weekend will be available for a limited period where you can play and enjoy part of the game before launch. Details of the early access weekend will be shared at a later date. So yeah, this is going to be earlier. This is likely going to have problems. You're likely not going to be able to carry on progress, which, I mean, with, say, for example, a full weekend, you can do a whole campaign. It depends on the map size, and we're going to have to wait and see for that. But let's go into the cosmetic packs, right? The Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack contains a unique skin for each playable faction leader, 8 in total, and the Heart of the Shah Dana cosmetic pack contains unique Shurden outfits for bodyguard units. These will be available on release of Total War Pharaoh. The cosmetic pack pre-order bonus will be available up until 1 week after release. Okay, so first up, this is what you call FOMO, fear of missing out, because yeah, it seems that they're not going to be available after the week. I'm not very keen on that. I don't like this type of business practices. It shouldn't be done for digital games. Yes, I know some other companies do that, for example, World of Warcraft, but it shouldn't be the case. I'm sorry, I don't like fear of missing out options. And I'm not too sure if I'm too keen on cosmetic packs as a pre-order incentive. That doesn't really sound like it incentivizes too much. Pretty much every other single Total War game, barring Troy at the very beginning, had a pre-order incentive which was a new culture or a new race if you're looking at Warhammer. Troy did get the Amazons for free afterwards, but I think that Troy is this whole grey area because obviously it was the Epic exclusive thing and so on. I don't know, it's pretty strange, and I'm not too sure I like this, if I can be completely honest. This is supposed to be like a historical game, I guess? Why are we playing dress-up of characters, right? I don't know. I'm not trying to say negative, I just want context from Creative Assembly, if they can provide it, of course. The next section is regarding the physical edition. Yes, there will be a physical standard edition at select retailers that include a digital download code for Total War Pharaoh, the Avatar of the Gods cosmetic pack, and the Heart of Shah Dana cosmetic pack. Plus a printed double-sided poster. Posters are always cool. The physical edition will be released after the game's digital launch later this year and will be available at select retailers in Europe. Oh, okay. The digital download code is applicable for Steam only. So only Europe, no collector's edition, which is strange. I would love to see a collector's edition. I like the idea of a poster, but then, yeah, you're not going to be able to, if you're interested in the DLCs, like the pre-order DLCs and so on, from the deluxe edition and all that, yeah, you can't get that with this. I don't know, maybe there's going to be like an upgrade system. A lot of games do actually have like upgrade now for a little bit extra money. Well, usually it's just the difference. But yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to talk about here, to be honest. I don't know. I hope a collector's edition does come out because, yeah, again, there are people who are completionists who own every single Total War game, and it looks nice to have something in your collection, doesn't it? And lastly, you can see the languages that the game will be available in. You'll also be able to see that it's got multiplayer support for crossplay at launch. This means that if you play on Steam and your friend plays on Epic, you'll have crossplay enabled. I'm not sure if this means everything. I don't know how crossplay actually works. And finally, you know, the game is going to be released on Mac and Linux, but that will be after. I imagine that they're going to use Feral Interactive once again, and that usually takes around 2-3 months. I'm not 100% too sure there, so don't take my word as gospel. But yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. And I'm pretty excited in general for a Total War historical. It's been a long time. Yes, I mostly cover, you know, Warhammer, and my main content is Warhammer, but I want to actually go back into historical. My first Total War game was Rome 1, so it will be cool to see how this pans out. I want to see what they have planned. Clearly they've got DLC plans for a long time, and that's just with pre-order stuff. Obviously you don't have to buy it with a pre-order, you can get the cheaper version if you want that, but this means that they must have a lot of plans. The problem with Total War games, at least the non-Warhammer ones lately, they haven't really received a lot of support. So it looks like they are doubling down here, and I feel quite confident. I will still say that I'm not a fan of the FOMO stuff. Fear of missing out for cosmetics is just not cool in my opinion, and I will always say this, it's not just because it's Total War, it's literally because I just don't like when stuff can disappear. Hopefully it comes back if that's the case. I really am not keen on the idea of cosmetic DLC anyway for a historical game or any type of Total War, but there must be a reason for it. I think that it's not a bad thing in a certain case, because let's be honest, when it comes to pre-order race packs or faction packs or whatever, at least for the Warhammer series, you know, Warriors of Chaos in Game 1, Norska for Game 2, and the Ogre Kingdoms now, they haven't been in the best place. The Warriors of Chaos took like 7 years to actually get better, so I'm kind of happy that it's not a like culture pack for pre-order, because you'll know that that faction is just going to be horrible, right? So this is probably a good thing. I'm going to look at it with open eyes, I'm going to be optimistic, and we're going to have to wait and see. From now until October, well, that's going to be something that is going to be consistent. I imagine that they're going to start dropping news once a week or something. That's usually the case, I think, when it comes to a new title. It's been a while. And yeah, hopefully it's good. I'm more interested in campaign because, I mean, I'm a campaign player. I like battles. I think it's cool. But I want to see what new and shiny stuff they've brought in. Because obviously this is in the same setting as Troy. I really hope they're bringing in some good stuff from Troy, but fixing up any clear issues. Because all in all, I think Troy was a good game. So Bronze Age is super cool. We all know that there was problems, right? And hopefully that's been fixed. They've had enough time, I think. Honestly, it's been, what, 2-3 years at this point? Either way, it's just nice to see another Total War game coming out. I don't care if you're only a historical fan or you're only a Warhammer fan. The more Total War games, the better, as long as they're done well. But yeah, in regards to the trailer, there's not much that can be said. This isn't like a Warhammer trailer where I can go, and here's this and here's that. Obviously, it's a very beautiful setting. I must admit that the cinematics for Total War are getting better and better each time. This is, like, wow, it is stunning, and it's pretty, there's a little bit of a joke there, I must admit, because, like, you know, a bug moving a pile of shit could be taken the wrong way. Obviously, it's a dung beetle, but I think that this is really, really cool. Like, the style, just the cinematic in general, the lighting is gorgeous. The little battle at the end, I think that this is great. I think that they've really put a lot of effort in the trailer, and I'm imagining that if they're going to put so much effort in the trailer, it's because they have good plans and they've got like lots of high hopes for this game. And really, just the trailer, the moment I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, this is likely going to be good. Obviously, a trailer will not tell you if it's going to be good or not, but I don't know. It feels nice, and that's weird. I know, but it's one of these things where if the trailer does hype up, and especially me, right? Like, I like history, I like historical games, but I'm clearly into Warhammer. This trailer kind of hypes me up. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm honestly feeling hopeful. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of discussion. It's been a long time coming, so yeah. Let me know. This should be good. October's pretty far away, but then again, you know, we've got a Warhammer DLC prior to that, and then a Warhammer DLC after that. Hopefully it'll be back like we had it during, remember the period between Troy, Three Kingdoms, and Warhammer, where we were just getting constant content for various games. It's about time that Creative Assembly started providing content for everyone, and yeah, let's hope it gets there. I'll see you all again very soon, guys. The trailer will be here at the end of the video, just in case you haven't seen it, because of timestamp purposes. And yeah, have a great day.